Hi guys, this is Travis and Kyle with Beyond Bipolar blog. Today we're going to cover a topic called sensory overload when it comes to mental health, mental illness, such things as anxiety or depression, or even maybe some bipolar symptoms can exacerbate the senses in many ways. The first one I want to talk about is eye strain. I think the sensory overload for my eyes have been a problem in the past, and can let you know things have become a lot better. And I never thought that a medication or some types of meds could actually, kind of ease the sensory issues that I had in the past. And I can kind of thank a lot to Lithium, Zymbalta at the time when I was on Lithium. I am still on Zymbalta, but that had largely actually helped me to not suffer as much eye strain. I used to, really complain about it back in 2010 when I was, maybe diagnosed with bipolar for 2 years and I haven't been on a medication. I would always complain about trying to do homework online because I always had to have a projector because I felt the computer itself was too bright, and no matter what setting I did, I would get eye strain from it. I got so far into it in 2009, before 2010, where I had this my second hospitalization in 2009. I had hopes that this $5,000 eye surgery would cure the eye strain that I was having on the computer at work. And, sadly, I kept blaming it on the surgery that I had, but in reality, generally speaking, yes, my eyes are probably more sensitive due to the implantable lens in my eye, but most likely due to the fact that I was not taking medications for helping with my mental health, which was bipolar. I almost felt like when I'm in a severe depression, not only are my eyes sensitive, but my ears are sensitive as well. So any loud sounds like on a piano piece or music would generally it would just kind of freak me out, and I would just definitely have issues and a lot of pain with my eyes and my ears. And I guess there is some relationship to people with autism, because I do know sensory overload is really common among them. For a while I thought I had autism, and surprisingly Kyle actually has been diagnosed with autistic traits. However, he kind of had to fight for that. I don't know if he has any input regarding sensory overload.
Well, we'll talk about sensory overload too, because a lot of people that have autism have sensory issues. They don't like loud noises. They don't like change. They like to keep things predictable. But anyway, how come you don't feel like it? How come it's not autism that you were diagnosed, not bipolar? Because is that common with bipolar people that experience sensory overload like you?
I actually recently looked it up, just now, and it said that sensory overload can happen with people with mental health issues. And we're specifically talking about that. People might be dual diagnosed with autism or bipolar, but I never been officially diagnosed with autism. I never had enough testing done. So it's possible it could be related to autism, and largely the fact that I've been on medication, it kind of stabilized my mood. So when I'm in a deep depression, I feel like the senses for light isn't as bad, or loud sounds isn't as bad. I just seem to adapt a lot better when I've been on regulated medication, and that had helped with my mood disorder. I feel like being on medication has regulated my eye strain and problems with hearing, and too much sound causing a lot of problems.
Yeah, I remember my brother had a really bad time with sensory overload. It actually probably exacerbated his mood quite a lot. And I guess to add some input and insight, I actually got the same Vizient ICL surgery. Originally he got $5,000. I paid for $7,400 for both eye implants. So what Vizient ICL surgery is since our eyes were so bad, we both had bad eyesight since we were really young. I had mine in first grade. I think Trez had his in second grade. So we always wore glasses for a while. Trez got his maybe about 12 years ago. I just got mine last year. And I do notice, I feel like my eyes are a little bit more sensitive at night. I notice I see some halos and some like reflective light. But is it to a point where it's exasperating and totally making my mood go amok? I don't think so. So in the end, it's probably likely that he does have some bipolar diagnosis, And you don't think it's autism related or
could be that I have
or
undiagnosed
Asperger's or
autism on a high functioning level. I don't know. I've never been tested, but you have, and you've been officially diagnosed. But I guess according to you, you never really had sensory issues.
It's more not really officially, but more unofficially because I kept on fighting for it because our struggles were social wise. Usually we don't really read social cues. We just kind of just be in our own world doing whatever. But now that we kind of learned and adapted and kind of learned social cues and socialization, become a little bit better at it. Because back then when we were younger kids, when we were younger kids, we actually were pretty quiet, really shy, so we really didn't have that development of socialization with our peers. But it's just kind of an interesting case because I feel like with bipolar disorder, usually it relates to mood, not really much sensory overload issues, which Travis definitely had. I mean, I remember a time when he was working on the computer, he had a huge argument with Dad, and he was yelling at him that he did his eyes for him, and in the end, Travis was still suffering because he had severe eye strain, and it's kind of unusual for bipolar to cause eye strain issues, but I guess according to him, it does happen.
Yeah, I mean, generally, just imagine this. Some people have the fight or flight response when it comes to anxiety. Maybe something like freaks them out in a crowd or just some type of thing that causes anxiety, and they have like a panic, because that's kind of sensory overload to, in a way, how the brain kind of adapts to it. But I feel like personally, this was a huge, I don't talk about this a lot, but it was a huge problem in the past.
It was really bad.
It was actually pretty painful.
You couldn't even do music, you couldn't even go on the computer.
And I was like 99% always on the computer, and I couldn't go more than an hour unless I'd freak out. And I remember times we did a video where I was just having so much eye strain that it was my mood in general. If I'm feeling really bad, I likely have eye strain. But for now, if I'm in a bad mood, maybe don't get enough sleep, I might have a few eye strain here and there. And to be honest with you, I often, very, very often wear sunglasses when I'm out and about. I just feel like I have to it's better that I can see that the audience can view me it's better that the audience can view me while they can just see my eyes and stuff, and they can see the interaction.
Can you explain some of the eye strain, like what it was like, and the ear strain? Or wait, did you have hearing strain or eye strain?
Both. So generally speaking, in 2012, or 2009 was the worst when I had, 2010 was the worst because I was going for my bachelor's degree at DeVry, and I couldn't use the computer for very long, else my eyes would just get upset. And you can imagine this, your eyes are just burning, or the light is just really exasperating some bad feelings and stuff, and you kind of end up in a temper tantrum. And that's kind of what happened, is I'd have this eye strain on the computer, I get this fight or flight response, and I just erupt pretty much. And generally that happened for a lot of my eye strain issues throughout 2009 to 2012, because largely speaking, I was relatively unmedicated for a longer period of time. It wasn't until 2012 where I started the mood stabilizer Lithium, and that actually helped tremendously with eye strain. And to be honest with you, if I had to go back, would I still have the $5,000 surgery? Probably, but I'd probably wait till later, because I noticed that after 10 years 12 years almost, having the surgery, my eyes are still getting bad. So if I really want to see something far away, I have to wear glasses regardless, which kind of sucks. But
anyway, about the surgery for me, because I had such bad eyes, they're basically like bifocals and really thick, so I wasn't out. I mean, I could pay for it, but it was really expensive. I didn't even have the solar transition type lens, and my glasses with the frames plus the big lenses were at least around $600. So imagine this, paying $600 every 4 years, it just adds up. So I just figured it was just worth it. But anyway, what about the eye strain was really bad, but what about, did it hurt when you were outside or the sunlight? I don't remember.
I think the sunlight, generally speaking, wasn't as bad. It was the computer Eyestrain that caused
The blue
a
heat.
tremendous problem. And I feel like what helped kinda in a way, and still up to this day, is kind of the turning down the brightness and using that, what is that program called that changes the color?
Flux
Yeah, Flux is a,
makes it more yellow.
yeah, so it kind of softens the colors a bit and not so bright blue. But that had helped a bit, and like I said, generally,
Sunglasses.
you know, I always wear sunglasses. I have them right here, but typically I wear them whenever I go out because the reflection is so strong.
He even wore them when we went to swimming, but he lost them because they flew off his face.
Yeah, so generally speaking, even if I can go without this and not go into huge hissy fit. And I'm pretty sure people with autism would go into hissy fit. I mean, literally speaking, if there's something chafing their skin, they could go have a hissy fit. If the sun's so bright that it's killing their eyes, they might go in a temper tantrum, or even if sounds are too loud, they might have a fit as well. For me, when it came to the sounds, I had issues with listening to some of the music I was doing, and it would exacerbate that, but it was nowhere near as terrible as the Eyestrain.
So the Eyestrain was worse than the sound strain.
Yeah, I don't know how to call it,
audio strain.
audio strain or whatever, but the sensory overload with the eyes were definitely worse than my ears.
So you're not in the lithium now. How come you
Nope.
don't have it anymore?
Probably because I'm still stable. I think being mentally stable has exceptionally helped my severity of the Eyestrain.
What about when in December though? You didn't have any Eyestrain. You didn't know if you weren't that great, or did you?
December? What do you mean?
December, when you were hospitalized again.
I didn't have Eyestrain, but I was still on Lamictal. I was still on Latuda. I was on Zymbalta, and I think that's primarily. And I was on, which I started Seroquel. So I haven't had so much Eyestrain since 2012.
So it was a while
And to
ago.
be honest with you, I want to mention Trintellix. It's an antidepressant that causes. There are some antidepressants that increase Eyestrain. Just be aware of that. I felt like Zymbalta has not always officially exacerbated my Eyestrain issues, but overall, I feel like there are some meds that can induce Eyestrain, so be aware of that.
So for me, I don't know if meds really caused any of my Eyestrain. I never had audio strain like my brother either, so I guess that's pretty much it. Apparently it was more of a med issue, so even if you think it's a sensory overload thing, or it could be mental health related, it's not just a physical illness. I actually thought that back then it could have been his eye surgery that really did cause it, but in the end it probably wasn't. It was more
it's
mental
probably not.
internally.
Yeah, so it's like just a mental mood disorder, and just imagine that, guys. If you have a lot of anxiety, you start racing, and it's kind of general. It's kind of like anxiety. If something goes through the roof, you blow your top, and that's kind of the same thing with my eyes. If the Eyestrain gets so bad, I just get. And the reason why I wear sunglasses, even though I can squint, is because I notice that I'm getting quite a few wrinkles by squinting all the time. So I just wear sunglasses so I prevent more wrinkles. It's kind of just more a cosmetic thing. But I don't know. Since we're on this Eyestrain issue, can you explain a little bit about visiting ICL and
Yeah, so
generally
visiting
speaking, how
ICL, like I was explaining, it's not your typical, what do you call it when they shave off your eye? The LASIK, when they shave off your eye, but our eyes are so bad that we didn't qualify, otherwise it wouldn't have worked. But Travis is actually qualified for LASIK because they won't have to dig as deep now, because basically they just put like a implant in your eye, which is basically like a lens, or like a permanent contact. And
what is your
right now?
What is your overall
my
take
overall
on it?
feeling's been a year, and I'm glad that I don't have to wear glasses anymore. What made me switch to it is because I was running, and I hate wearing glasses because it always would fog up your eyes and you can't see. And I was running on the highway and my glasses flipped off and I couldn't find them, so I was wasting like maybe 20 minutes trying to find them in the dark on the highway, which is pretty dangerous. So that was the time.
Do you feel it was worth the $7,400?
I feel like it was still worth it. I don't understand why insurance doesn't claim it as a medical kind of thing.
You know what's weird is that they do cover cataracts,
which is interesting, but
they don't cover.
They consider it cosmetic, which I don't really agree with, because in the end you got to see. Otherwise, you're kind of disabled if you can't see.
Like, you know, generally
cost
speaking,
money too,
the worse your eyes are, the thicker the lens, and that can definitely dry the eyes out. So that is pretty much not an option for me. And generally speaking, it's just simple things like being able to brush my teeth when I'm in the shower, where I don't have to get fogged up my sunglasses, or when I'm outside wearing glasses, or I can wear sunglasses because have a deeper, more. I mean, sunglasses generally have a darker tint to them than I have transition ones, but they don't get as dark.
You do have to wear glasses. How bad is your eyes now?
So
I'm probably gonna have to get in 10 years too.
So generally speaking, I do have Eyestrain. Like, it's not as bad now, but earlier it probably was bad, and I had to wear my sunglasses. But it's not to the point where I get this hissy fit.
But what about your actual glasses, your eyeglasses?
What about them?
That you're wearing them now. Explain that.
Oh yeah, I sometimes wear them because I can't see.
In the movie theater.
I used to just be I used to complain a little bit that I couldn't see far away, and I guess I was convinced to get glasses a couple of years ago, and you know, I hardly ever wear them still. I just sometimes wear them. But
do you need them?
I don't officially need them, but it's just nice if I want to see better. But
right now I actually have 20/24 vision, so my vision's actually pretty good. I mean, it could be better. My right ear and my right eye are a little bit always not as strong as my left. My left ear I could see better and I could actually hear better, ironically, but that's what most people do. They have some better side, one's more dominant. But anyway, tell us about your story. Have you guys experienced Eyestrain? Or do you actually have autism, or do you guys have bipolar, or maybe you can explain a little bit about that, because I'm kind of curious about some of the dialogue that we get here. Anyways, if you like, comment, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. And like I said, this is an Eyestrain video, not an ice cream video. My girlfriend, who's manning the camera right now, thought we were gonna get ice cream. That would have been nice. I don't know why.
So what does that have to do with mental health?
I don't know.
Maybe they eat it, you feel better.
I don't know. It's a good question.
Eat your feelings.
It's never good to eat too much, I guess. But anyway, that's all we have to do and talk about. So is there anything else you want to address, or is that good?
Do you want to address Bailiff's broadcasting quick, and then?
All right. Anyway, so we already been going to a bunch of areas. We started another channel amongst our 25 some other channels. This Bailiff's Broadcast channel. It's called Bailiff's Broadcast, and we just go around the area, follow our travel adventures. So you can eventually like and comment to those. I've already finished the logo and video After Effects, which I'm going to work on, which I'm excited about. I'm syncing our drives when we get home. I'm going to do some more Servacomp videos, servacomptech.com videos when we get home too. But anyway, we're just going to enjoy a little walk here, maybe get some bubble tea or boba tea, and we'll just have a good time. I think I want to record a little bit of the sun.
All right, sounds good. Thank you. Take care. Have a good one. Bye.
Bye.
Oh, shoot.
Now stay in the video.